Captain, the package is arriving at the transporter.
All crew, this is Captain Kirk, battle stations. This is not a drill, battle stations. Cargo secure. Sulu, take us out. Welcome gamers, this is Captain Kirk for XBPSA and joining me today on this momentous day, Creed, thank you very much.
Thank you for letting me be here at this awesome moment in history, this magnificent beast.
I cannot wait to see what comes out of this box. I think it's definitely one thing to see it on the screen, but this whole day we've been waiting just for this. Let's go ahead, let's do the first peel.
Wait, I've got goosebumps. I've got goosebumps.
Goosies! Let's go ahead, let's do this first peel. Boom! I almost want to frame these now.
Yeah, just put it in a little thing.
Okay, let's see what happens here. Are there more parts? Okay, I think we've got more peels.
And
Excellent.
excellent.
Alright, so I think what we want to do is we want to show you this side. Okay, so here we go, gamers.
Oh,
This is incredible packaging.
it is magnificent. It is really safe, and it's still inside something else as well. And it's
Everything is made sure. So this is one of the great things, right? Unboxing is one thing to see the item, but the way in which they are presenting this to you, this is a presentation of powering your dreams, you know? So let's flip this one around. Let's get in here. All right, so covered in a light kind of plastic covering. Let's get this out. Oh my baby! Oh my baby! Sure. All right, so let's put the focus on the main item. All right, so we've got a little bit of a cardboard section here.
power your dreams.
All right, that is wonderful. And now, as gently as I can, which is not my forte necessarily, we are going to try and get this out as neatly as possible.
It's really taking my breath away.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is so beautiful. Let me put her on her side. There we go.
That is goulash.
This is one of the moments where I have to decide if the birth of my child was a greater moment than this one.
I have no child, so this is better.
It is wonderful. I'm hoping that you could end up seeing the green tint as we are flipping it just up and down and to the sides. And this, gamers, this is Xbox Series X. This kind of a mattish finish to it, and it was wonderful to read on Xbox Wire that they said this was designed with an architecture mind. This was designed so that no matter where in your home, this is going to be architecturally a feature and not just some random box or some random machine popping up. No matter where, the design of this has got everything to do to be an architectural design, apart from everything like the airflow that's coming through the vents and how they're making sure that all this technology stays cool. Just its design, and you cannot, getting first glance at this, Creed, you cannot say that this is just a rectangle.
No, it's not. Definitely.
There is so much elegance that they've introduced here, which is mind-boggling. Standard at the back of the box, we have our storage expansion slot, and I have to tell you that everything is so much smaller than I had in my head. They say the camera adds 10 pounds, but the cameras has made the Xbox Series X look for me much larger. And now that I'm seeing the storage expansion, which is shorter than the tip of my finger to the second knuckle, it is smaller than this distance on your hand. That is how small that expansion slot is going to be. We see the HDMI out, we see 2 USB slots at the back, plus the network cable. On the front, we have an additional USB slot, we have the drive, the disk drive, we have the pair and eject buttons with the classic Xbox clicking for startup. The fan section is obviously something that we've seen a lot, right? The green cascading through the holes at the top. But what is noticeable for me looking straight down is how clearly you can see that big old fan, that fan built to do all the extraction from the air going in at the bottom and blowing all of that heat out the top. But apart from that, I cannot explain to you how much smaller this is than whatever picture I had in my head. I think I'm going to have to get that Series X fridge now just to have the big one as well. I'm going to open the box again because that was an extremely fun part about this entire experience. But let's take a little bit more of a look at what else is happening inside the box. Apart from the sponges that is there to protect your baba, there is additionally a booklet in here telling us about the box, telling us about the controller and how to load batteries. So if you've never loaded batteries into an Xbox controller and it feels like reloading a shotgun, there is a little bit of a diagram explaining how to load batteries and how to ultimately get your controller synced to the Xbox. Further, it is clear that from an application, a mobile application, you'd be able to set up most of your console. So make sure to go to the Play Store to get the application. It's available on the App Store for iOS and the Play Store for Android. They're giving you some detail on how to do the pre-setup via your application, and that is pretty much it in a bunch of languages that if I read it, time will stand still. Alright, additionally, there is this little slot, almost like a cabinole inside the dashboard of a Ferrari. Joining the Xbox Series X in the box is the power cable that will go from a wall plug to straight into your console, and then we have the HDMI cables. Take note, these are the HDMI 2.1 cables that is supplied within the box. Next up is the user manual, which every one of us always reads, just like terms and conditions. We always read what they say in this box: product and regulatory guide, limited warranty and agreement. So please take some time, get yourself a cup of coffee, and I will read us through the entire booklet. In the beginning, there was Microsoft, which made Xbox. Verse 2. By purchase.
One eternity later.
And then on the very last page, we can see some of the WLAN specifications of 5,15 to 5.25 gigahertz on the 13.27 decibels EIRP. This is of course important information. Alright, let's move on. Up next is the controller that will be included within your Xbox. Can you imagine controllers not sold separately? That would have been quite the ha-ha. Xbox took the liberty to add a couple of batteries for you. So if you don't have some at home, don't worry. You can get to the shop later. It doesn't mean that you cannot play. The controller is noticeably a little bit smaller for me, but it's got this grips on the back that reminds me that this is a new controller. Even on the triggers there are little buttons giving me some of a finger feel on the triggers, not so much on the bumpers. The analog sticks feels pretty standard, and the D-pad is probably a big update for me. The D-pad is more responsive. There's more of a click and a pushback on it. So I'm going to actually enjoy the diagonal of the D-pad a lot more than I do with the current generation controllers. Of course, it also has got the startup X, Y, A, B buttons, and then the menu and screens button. But now it also introduces the new share button, allowing you to take screenshots and videos much quicker, and also enabling you to upload this to social media quite a bit faster. The remote is a little bit lighter as well for me. That might be without a battery pack, at least that's so far, but it is noticeably smaller. It fits a little bit better. It's almost as if it's gotten a new ergonomic design, making it a little bit more sleek, refining from something that wasn't broken. And that's what I like. The previous controller wasn't broken. It's well known that the previous controller is the best gaming controller out there. Even the US Navy seems to think so. So right now, it's a little bit more refined, and I think that is a wonderful, don't redo what isn't broken, but refine it, bring it forward, and it is phenomenal. I really enjoy the feel of this controller. And there you have it, gamers of South Africa. This is the Xbox Series X, the flagship of the next generation. And I have to say that everything from the outer box to the inner box to opening it up has been a journey. Every little step was exciting. And when we finally have everything put out, it is so compact. Everything that I need to game now is in front of me for the next generation of consoles. I have to say that Xbox did a massive, incredible job, from the design of the console itself through to the controller. Everything is in its place and in its right place. I want to give a big thank you to Xbox South Africa and Prima Interactive for making sure that this is possible, and that Xbox Players SA has this opportunity to show you something that's going to make the next few years of your life incredible. Make sure your imagination is as big as possible, because at the end of the day, you have to power your dreams, and it's going to start here.